deep inside the piney woods of Northeast Texas. You are listening to Talk of the Night. And now, your host, Paranormal.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world.
Inside the piney woods of Northeast Texas. You are listening to You Are listening to
And
Talk of the Night. Your host,
And now,
your host, Paranormal.
good morning, wherever you may be around the world.
Inside the piney
globe.
woods of Northeast
Sorry, folks,
Texas.
we got a technical issue. All right, so we forgot to mute one of the things here. But anyways, tonight we are talking about a lot of different things, but this is Friday night open lines where you can call in, share your stories, experiences, or questions. I forgot to open Zoom. So if you got any questions, feel free to pop in the chat, or you want to share your stories and experiences, you can do it in there right now. Hopefully she can get Zoom open if we need it. But I forgot to do it. There's so much going on. Tomorrow I'm going to be out at the Texas Haunters Convention, so my brain is all over the place. So tonight we are talking about monsters and mysteries. We are talking about cryptids. We're going to be talking about skinwalkers. We're going to talk about mysteries such as the Bermuda Triangle and some other triangles that you might not have heard of. But we're also doing a book giveaway for those that are listening to the show. You must be listening live to the show. If you want to be entered in the book giveaway, you have to pop in the chat, say hi, let me know, and make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. But if you want to be entered to win one of these books, you must pop in the chat, say you want a book, and we'll put you in the drawing for the thing. I don't have a will open. Maybe she can open a will picker thing and put the names in there. But the books we're going to give away, or attempt to give away tonight, is from my past guest, Gary Wimmer. We're going to talk his book, Lithomancy, The Psychic Art of Reading Stones. Then we got his other book, A Second in Eternity. And one guest that never made it on the show, but he did send us his book, so we're going to give it away. A Little Lower Than Angels by Victor Font Jr. So we have those three books, and each of the Gary Wimmer books is going to get a stack of his business cards in there. So you can give it, if you like their book, like his book, you can give away, and tell them to, if they order a book, to mention Talk of the Night. Maybe Gary might give you a discount on the book. Who knows? Well, we'll check with Gary on that. But again, tonight we are talking about several different things, and we're going to start off with the monster side of the show. And we're going to be talking about cryptids and other strange cryptids. Now, what are cryptids? Now, most know about the more well-known cryptids, and I'm not wearing my glasses tonight, I forgot them, such as Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, but there are so many more cryptids out there. Now, what makes a cryptid? They're undiscovered species. Cryptids are meant to represent biological animals that could conceivably be discovered or analyzed using physical evidence like DNA or a specimen, which we'll get into that hopefully later on in the show. Distinct from mythological creatures, cryptids differ from purely mythical or supernatural beings like vampires, dragons, or ghosts, because theoretically they belong to the natural world, or do they? And then relic population. Some cryptids are animals thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago, like the megalodon or dinosaurs, but are believed by cryptozoologists to still be surviving in the remote, unexplored regions like the forests and everything. Now, the first site we got up on the Talk of the Night website, or not Talk of the Night website, but the first website we're going to pull up is a list of cryptids on Wikipedia. Now, I know a lot of people don't care for Wikipedia, but it does give you a list of cryptids. And we're going to scroll down on that. And I'm going to get a drink here. I'm not going to list off every one of them, but I am going to mention a few. So we're going to scroll down here. And of course, the one cryptid that some people might have heard of in Lake Champlain. Also, the like. Okay, give me 1 second, folks. I'm sorry. I thought you had cut from on there, but it's bringing up talking the night off of YouTube. I didn't bring up that either. Okay, no. Should be it's bringing up that screen. That's why. Go to properties on Webcaster and find. Now stretch that out. All right, sorry about that, folks. My producer still needs some training. But we are looking at different creatures, and like now we should be able to scroll down here, and like I said, we're looking at a few names like Champ. If you're from the Great Lakes and area, the Loch Ness monster type creature known as Champ. There's quite a few others. We're not gonna scroll down too far, but there's the Loch Ness monster, uh, Manapogo. I mean, there's a whole list. You can find all this. I will put the links in the description. I forgot to add them to the description, but I will put all the links for tonight's show in the description as soon as possible, where you can check this out for yourself. Now, again, the site breaks them down into 4 categories: aquatic, semi aquatic, terrestrial, and humanoid, and flying. Let's break it down even more. Some could be because of folklore, rumors, or eyewitness accounts that have yet to be proven. There have been many sightings of these cryptids and some videos, but not has been proven specifically. Let's look at some of those videos. Most of the famous Bigfoot videos out there, one of the most well-known Bigfoot video out there, cannot talk tonight, is the Patterson Gimlin video. And I'm sure you probably all have heard of that video. And I'm going to bring that up here right now. And if we watch this video, it's shaky. It's early 70s I believe when this video was made. So the quality was not that great. And of course, there was really, there was tripods and everything like that, but when you're out there, you're not really using much of it. But it finally stabilizes on this Bigfoot creature. Now, there's been a lot of speculation whether this was fake, and I believe this is real. But I'm going to let you guys decide on whether it was or not. Now, as most people do when filming such creatures, and UFOs, incidentally, the footage is often shaky and often blurry. Why is that? Well, the possibility.
I'm Bob Gimlin. Was there? Yes,
whoa,
yes. I
we
was
got
backing
sound.
Roger Patterson up all the time.
Oh, sorry, that's no, that's not me. That was me. Um, but it's often blurry, shaky, and why? Probably there's a couple of different reasons why, maybe, and that would be that there's fear, because I've seen videos where these creatures are throwing rocks at people. I've heard stories. I've had a guest on, Ed Roman, that talked about these creatures throwing rocks. So there's that. And, or the most common reason is no way to stabilize the camera. I mean, a lot of people are holding the camera like this, and it's hard to focus, especially if you zoom in on something at distance. So it's hard to focus. You're moving the camera like, where did it go? And that's not everybody's going to have a tripod or a gimbal on hand to stabilize that footage. So that's probably the more common reason why a lot of footage is shaky and everything like that. Now, as you can see in older footage, and there was possibly no tripod available for that shot. Now, with modern cameras and phone stability makes it a little clearer, but doesn't mean it always will be. Let's take a look at another video capturing both Bigfoot and compare the two. We're going to watch that video that's not on the list of sites, and we're going to take a look at that.
Oh my God, Bigfoot.
Drop your comment below. Do you think this is Bigfoot or
think
BS?
that
It's got the
one-
Squatch Watchers'
I think
attention,
that's
and
the
it's
other
definitely
one,
not
the
AI.
one that's not on the list. The play button one. Again, I apologize, guys. You got it? Okay, sorry. She brought up the next video, which no. All right, we got that video. Again, things have been hectic. Like I said, I'm gonna be out at the Texas Hunters Convention tomorrow, so and maybe promoting my podcast. So a lot is on my brain.
A hairy, ape-like creature moving through the area.
Is it false? Wow. All right. Well, what you saw right there is maybe restart it.
Pirate
Sorry about that. But what you basically saw there was a Bigfoot walking through the forest. And of course, I don't have a link for this video because it was more screen captured. Because I didn't want all the videos from this video that I got this run from. But it's basically a Bigfoot walking through the forest. And you can see it's a little more stabilized, but it's still kind of blurry. You can't not really make out the creature or anything like that. Now, all you can do is make out basically the tall, dark silhouette. But is it Bigfoot or is it just someone in a costume? I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. There are so many videos out there with Bigfoot, but with the emergence of AI, and I'm sure you've probably all seen the AI videos out there, Bigfoot, it makes it difficult to tell what is real and what is not. Let's take a look at this next video, the one that she started to bring up. They say it's not AI, and if it's not, then this is some clear footage.
Oh my God, Bigfoot.
Drop your comment below. Do you think
And
this is
you can
Bigfoot?
see from that footage that Bigfoot is looking close. Now, I've had a Bigfoot encounter back in the early 90s, 92, when there wasn't really, I didn't have a camera around with me, and I couldn't take a picture, but I was about 500 yards away, and I was not about to, I didn't know what this creature was, so I was not about to test whether it was a wild bear or something like that. I did not want to get attacked. And so I left it up to sorry, I'm pulling up the next video, but I didn't want to test it. Now, like I said, that's close. Now, whether that was zoomed in or not, I couldn't tell you. But that looked realistic. Now, let's take another look at another one that I do believe is clearly AI, which is the next video.
Sudden reaction. Most Bigfoot reports describe something large that keeps its distance and disappears into the forest. But in these clips, the behavior changes. Instead of retreating, the figure appears to move toward the people filming. That shift in direction is what makes this compilation different. The energy goes from observation to tension almost instantly. You can hear it in the voices. Calm turns into urgency. Whether it's defensive behavior, misinterpretation of movement, or something staged, the interaction is what captures attention. Wildlife experts often note that large animals react unpredictably when they feel cornered or observed too closely. In legends, Bigfoot is usually described as elusive. Here, the distance seems to disappear. That's what creates the impact. Movement toward rather than away changes the entire tone of an encounter. Based on the reaction and body language alone, does this look defensive, territorial, or something else entirely? Share your interpretation below.
Now, as you can tell, those were clearly AI generated videos. And YouTube, I'm using AI to describe this, but I am not. AI is not used to make this video. It was to make that video, but I am commentating on it. So just so you know, YouTube. Now, notice the features on those Bigfoots. They're not realistic. And even though we do not have definitive proof that Bigfoot is out there, or at least they say we don't, they look more like gorillas or someone in a costume than an actual creature, as you can tell from that video that you just watched. Now, speaking of proof, one man claims to have a deceased body of a Bigfoot and says the DNA proves that the entire creature is 58.5% Neanderthal and 41.5% human. Now, you might remember the guys in Georgia who said they had a body, but it turned out to be basically meat in a costume. Now, this seems to be different, but we're going to take a look here at this next website. No, this video, I'm sorry. Now, let's check out the story regarding that video. And then after that, we're going to talk about or we're going to show you a video of the guy who basically found the body, talk about that. But we're going to go to the story here now. And we are buffering. We were buffering for a second. I think it might be the signal. But anyways, in the story, you can tell it says Bigfoot hunter says proven corpse my mouth does not want to work right. Has been an uphill. It's basically trying to prove that it's real. It's been an uphill battle. And again, if you look down there, Snake, the Bigfoot hunter, which I'm going to try to get him on the show to talk more about it, claims the DNA showed that, again, this creature was in. Well, okay. Well, like I said, little difficulties tonight. We're both scatterbrained tonight. But again, we are going to give away the books. So don't get us wrong there. So again, like I said, if you want to win those books, you got to make sure that you pop in the chat. Make sure you say hi, say something in the chat. Let us know you're listening, watching the show. And also make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But anyways, as I was saying, that it is basically talking about where the Bigfoot remains are now. I believe he has it taxidermied and put away in his own place. And now, rather than show you a full 6-minute long video from News Nation, from that website, I found a shorter clip that I can show you. And again, if you want to watch that full clip, again, the link will be in the description, probably tomorrow night, maybe Sunday. I didn't have time to pull up the description, but let's pull up that video of him talking about his find.
Do not believe in Bigfoot. Have something I call BDS, which is Bigfoot Derangement Syndrome.
You better trademark that. It is a mystery that has captivated people across the entire globe for centuries. Does Bigfoot really exist? Well, now there is a man called Snake the Bigfoot Hunter who claims he has found actual Bigfoot remains. He has this 8-foot, 300-pound body in his possession. He's even nicknamed it Dak. Snake says he found the remains in the Adirondack Mountains in 2024, even put them on display at last year's Great New York State Fair. But here's the wild part. Snake claims he sent the specimen for DNA testing, that the results showed the body has 58.5% Neanderthal DNA and 41.5% human DNA. Snake says that those tests from Cornell's veterinary DNA lab prove that this creature is a Neanderthal-human hybrid. Now, the Adirondack Mountains have been known to be a hotspot for Bigfoot or Sasquatch sightings, but there are a lot of skeptics out there questioning Snake's discovery. So we decided, let's go to the source. Charles Stewart, better known as Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, joins me now. He's also the author of the Bigfoot Bible. Thank you so much for taking the time. First, how did you find these remains, and what made you think initially this could be Bigfoot's remains?
Well, you know, I found it west of Old Fort Central Adirondack Park. And the reason I found it was just being in the right area where I could smell it, because this body was decaying And I just followed my nose deeper and deeper and deeper until, bam. That the people who do not believe in Bigfoot have something I call BDS, which is Bigfoot
Okay,
Derangement
well, that's
Syndrome.
playing over again, so let's in that video there. But anyways, um, what are your thoughts on that video and the subsequent videos that you've seen prior talking about the Bigfoot? Do you think he has a real one, or do you think it's basically those Georgia guys all over again, a costume with meat in it? I mean, the DNA test could be probably made up. All right, now let's get off Bigfoot, and because we got about 30 minutes left in the show, and let's talk about some other cryptids. Now, as shown to you earlier, list of different cryptids. There are lake monsters such as, and let's bring up those images. Got 'em up. Again, I apologize, folks. I was running behind, so I thought I had everything set up and ready to go, but of course, I was running late on setting everything up. There we go. There they are. All right, so as you can see, we got things like the lake monsters such as Nessie. We got werewolves and such things as like the Dogmen of Michigan, as far as a werewolf, and then there's Mothman of Mount Pleasant, West Virginia, or I believe is now called Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Now, there are so many other types of cryptids out there. And again, if you take a chance to look at the Wikipedia link, once I put it in the description, it'll show you all the different cryptids. But if you'd like to learn more about them other than just through Wikipedia, there is a place that I would recommend to go to. I have never been there myself, but let's bring up the Cryptid Museum website. And it's run by Dr. Lauren Coleman, and I believe it's around Portland, Maine. But anyways, I've listened to Dr. Coleman on Coast to Coast AM before, and I love to get him on my show to get more in depth with cryptids. But here's a website of the Cryptid Museum, and you can check it out for yourself. We're not going to go too far into it. I'm just going to go up to the menu here, and you can plan your visit, the exhibitions that are there, the store. You can donate what is cryptozoology, the International Cryptozoology Society, and so much more. But again, I'll leave the description in the link in the description, not the link in the description of the link. Again, my brain is not working right, but I will get the other. I'll get the description in there. Probably tomorrow night, maybe Sunday, depending on how tired I am after tomorrow. Like I said, it's just been hectic. So there also is, if you don't want to visit that, or maybe you had a sighting of Bigfoot yourself, or maybe another cryptid, but Bigfoot mainly, there is the Bigfoot Research Organization, if we pull that side up. And all across the United States, you can find different sightings. You can find it by region. You can find it by state. You can report a sighting, all that good stuff. There's Bigfoot is not mainly to the Pacific Northwest. Now, a lot of people think Bigfoot is just on the West Coast up in the Pacific Northwest, but places like Georgia, you can go back to my camera. There is, I believe it's Georgia, it's called the skunk ape. So there's so many different versions of Bigfoot. Yeti is another version of Bigfoot. So you can make a report. You can find different sightings in your area on Bigfoot Research Organization, BFRO.net. Now, with all these sightings, what are these cryptids? That's what we got to answer here, too. What are these cryptids? Are they creatures that have yet to be discovered with scientific proof? Are they folklore legend? Are they prehistoric survivors? Or are they interdimensional beings? We're going to take a look at all those different things here in a moment. So let's first look at the first question. In terms of cryptozoology, our cryptid comes from the Greek word kryptos, meaning hidden, and cryptozoology means hidden animals or study of hidden animals. Now, we all know that these creatures are well hidden, but let's check out this video, this next video here, explaining cryptids. And I'm going to bring it up here for a second.
Told you that creatures like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or the Chupacabra might actually exist. Welcome to the world of cryptozoology, the study of hidden animals. Cryptozoologists search for evidence of creatures that remain unproven by science. Some believe these cryptids are just myths, but others think they could be undiscovered species hiding in remote parts of the world. Skeptics argue that most sightings are hoaxes, misidentifications, or exaggerations. But history has proven that some mythical creatures turn out to be real, like the giant squid and the okapi, once thought to be legends. Could cryptids be real animals waiting to be discovered? Or are they just stories passed down through generations? Until science proves them false, the mystery remains. What do you think?
As you've seen there, the giant squid was thought to not be real until we discovered every day we seem to be discovering some new animal that was thought to be either extinct or not real at all. And that's, it's up to us to decide whether these creatures are real. And of course, once we have proof, that should prove that they're real, but not always the case. Then the next section is folklore legend, such as the Chupacabra, the Skinwalker, Thunderbirds, Wendigo. Now let's check out this video on folklore legend creatures such as Thunderbirds.
News camera loaded with 100 feet of professional Ektachrome film. You are now seeing the original footage of living flying Thunderbirds straight out of Native American legend. Millimeter.
Now, I did not pull up the image. I forgot to pull it up, but there is an image out there of a guy reportedly standing by a giant bird. I mean, the wingspan, just one of his wings is about the height of the man. Again, I forgot to pull it up. Just hectic. But anyways, in that video, what you see is a bird. You can't tell whether it's a Thunderbird or not. Could it be a Thunderbird? Quite possibly. But I'm going to let you make up your mind and everything like that. Like I said, I wish I would have pulled up that image, but I forgot to pull that image up. Now, we're going to take a look at the next section, and that is the prehistoric version of these creatures. And
as what appears to be a massive creature.
I'm not ready yet for it. Such as the Megalodon. People say that the Loch Ness Monster is a dinosaur. But let's take a look at this drone footage of a possible Nessie sighting. Now we can bring it up.
With a long neck, floats just below the surface, near the shore. You can also see what look like fins on either side of its body. And a tail. Richard and the others aren't aware of it until a week later, when someone watching the footage points it out. And they are stunned. Could this be the Loch Ness Monster?
This is really amazing. We have clear drone footage on a nice day. And in the water, pretty close to shore, there is this large form that looks like a creature of some sort. Additionally, there even seems to be a visible pattern on what could be skin. I'm not saying it's Nessie, but it's Nessie.
Okay. So, is that Nessie? Who knows? That could even be a drone footage of Champ or Ogopogo, which are also lake monsters. But I believe it's a Polarisaurus or something like that. It's a sea dinosaur, plant-eating dinosaur, but I think it did have teeth where it could eat meat and fish. And people do believe that that is real. But now let's get into the last section that I want to talk about, or the last thought on this, is interdimensional beings. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on these creatures being interdimensional. While there's no scientific proof that the cryptids are interdimensional, the interdimensional theory is a popular concept in cryptozoology. It suggests creatures like Bigfoot don't live in our own physical reality full time, but instead slip through portals or alternative dimensions, which proponents say explains the frequent lack of physical bones or evidence. And with the Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, that might change. Who knows? Now, some researchers and enthusiasts on discussion boards like Reddit, Cryptozoology Reddit, suggest that many elusive cryptids might be quantum beings or extra-dimensional entities rather than biological animals. However, mainstream scientists and skeptics point out that this framework exists largely to explain away the absence of definitive, testable physical remains. Now let's take a look at a video, this next video, that suggests Bigfoot might be interdimensional.
Bigfoot isn't hiding from us, but phasing around us. The strangest Bigfoot encounters aren't sightings, they're disappearances. Tracks that end mid-stride. Creatures seen stepping behind a tree and never reappearing. Witnesses reporting sudden pressure in the air. Dead silence, then nothing. The interdimensional theory says Bigfoot isn't a biological animal. It's a traveler, able to move between frequencies or realities we barely understand. That would explain why trail cameras fail, batteries drain, and thermal imaging glitches right before encounters. Some claim Bigfoot appears near energy vortexes, fault lines, and magnetic anomalies, places where reality feels thin. And here's the unsettling part. If it's interdimensional, it's not lost in our world. It's visiting, which means we're not studying it, it's studying us. And it only appears when it wants to. Like, follow, share.
Okay, we're gonna
what if Bigfoot isn't hiding from us?
But again, as you heard, there are people that think it is interdimensional. It could be. It could be something that's living underground. Who knows? Now, as I mentioned earlier in the show about the guy who found the Bigfoot body and it being 58.5% Neanderthal, that could lead to the possibility that they are interdimensional, but also a possibility of time travel is there. The proof of parallel universes are there. The possibility of them being underground species. But I want to know what you think down in the comments down below. Now, speaking on interdimensional beings, let's look at skinwalkers next. And I want to see how much time we got left, because I want to show one video on skinwalkers, and I'm not going to be able to get to all the videos on skinwalkers because I want to talk about the mystery part of things. I didn't want to do the whole thing on monsters. But let's take the look at the next video on skinwalkers. Now, as you can see in that video, it looks like it's glitching out, or it could be a camera resolution, and the guy just phases in. That leads credence to possibly skinwalkers being interdimensional, but again, that could be just the resolution of the camera setup that is being used. Now, I wanted to get into skinwalkers so much more, but unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time to get into that and give away the books. But let's talk about one more thing, and she's going to have to do a search on the thing, but we want to talk about Bermuda Triangle, and I want to talk about Bruce Gernon. And it's going to be near the end of the thing. Let's see if I can find the Bruce Gernon video. I think this is it right here. It is going to be the one where he's talking, explaining the portal that he flew through.
Let me take you on a short trip through the Bermuda Triangle. My only escape from the squall was to fly through a dangerous vortex tunnel above the Great Bahamas Bank. The tunnel appeared to be about 12 miles long and was slowly shrinking in diameter. And small clouds lined up, forming a spiral. It should have taken about 3 minutes to reach the exit, but it only took 20 seconds. When I reached the other side, its diameter had shrunk to 30 feet and a strange fog attached to the aircraft and reduced visibility to an inconceivable way because everything looked blurry. 3 minutes later, the fog electronically suddenly disappeared and we were in clear sky over Miami. Where did the fog go? I'm Bruce Gernon. Let me take...
Okay. And like I said, I would love to get him on the show to explain the Bermuda Triangle in more depth. Now, for those that know, and the reason why I mentioned, or not mentioned, but put in the title of the episode, Where Have They Gone?, is because we hardly hear of the Bermuda Triangle anymore these days. We barely hear of Bigfoot sightings, even though there are Bigfoot sightings. It's more of, if you talk about Bigfoot, it's more of AI videos than anything. But talking about sightings, it's very few and far in between, unless you're watching stuff like Skinwalker Ranch or something like that. Now, according to the Bermuda Triangle, there were other things that happened there. More notably, Flight 19. I'm not going to bring up the website because, like I said, we are running out of time and everything like that. But I want to bring up one more thing about another triangle that I've heard of. I don't know if many people have heard of it. Is the Alaskan Triangle.
Say the Bermuda Triangle is scary, but that is nothing compared to the one in Alaska. There is a zone connecting Anchorage, Juneau, and Utqiagvik, where people vanish without a trace. The wilderness there is untouched, a place where satellites fail and signals die. The world noticed in 1972 when a plane carrying a United States congressman disappeared. The largest search in American history found no wreckage, no debris, not a single scrap of metal. Since then, over 16,000 people have been recorded missing inside those same boundaries. Hikers, pilots, hunters, entire aircraft swallowed like they were never here. Scientists blame the terrain, the storms, the magnetic anomalies that can cause compasses to spin as if the Earth forgot north. But Alaska's native communities have older warnings. They believe this land hides portals, places where energy spirals downward and drains the living. Rangers talk about hallucinations, sudden panic, time slipping, footsteps behind them that stop when they do. The mountain winds carry voices that call people by name. Those who follow never return. Here is the twist. Data shows the ground beneath the triangle is riddled with tunnels and cavern systems that have never been mapped. Something is waiting in the dark, and we keep pretending it is not there. Follow for more stories that prove some places were never meant for us.
Alright, so as you heard, there are some more, and that's a land version of what basically is the Bermuda Triangle, or was. Now, as I say, I was in the Navy. I went through the Bermuda Triangle myself. Now, the only strange thing I noticed when going through the Bermuda Triangle at night was blue lighting in the water. Now, that could have been like an algae in the water or something, or a creature in the water, but can I attest it to the strange going on of the Bermuda Triangle? No. I mean, I lived and went through the Bermuda Triangle and survived. But, again, let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Now, besides the Bermuda Triangle and the Alaskan Triangle, there are a couple other ones. The Lake Michigan Triangle, stretching from Ludington, Michigan to Manitowoc, Wisconsin. I know I butchered those names. And Benton Harbor, Michigan. That triangle, it's a hotbed of urban legends featuring shipwrecks, unexplained disappearance, such as the Thomas Hume in 1891 and UFO sightings. Then there is the Devil's Sea, Dragon's Triangle, located south of Tokyo, Japan. The area is often compared to the Bermuda Triangle due to legends of missing vessels, magnetic anomalies, and strange unverified phenomena. Now, I didn't put this in my list, but I am going to mention it because I believe that the magnetic north is shifted, our poles are shifted. And maybe that's why strange things are not happening in the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Maybe they're happening somewhere else that's not really a big shipping lane. I mean, it could be caused to some of our weather, even though most of it is caused by weather modification. I was trying to think of what I was going to say there, but weather modification. And we're not going to get into that in this show, but we're going to take a look at one more website before we get out of here, and that's the last website on the list. And of course, at the top, there should be a thing that lists different mysteries the Bermuda Triangle, the Crooked Forest, Nazca Lines, Blood Falls, Devil's Kettle, Eternal Flame Falls, and other eternal flames, the Planet Jars, Magnetic Hill, and Yanagi Monument. And again, I'll leave the link in the description. I'm not going to go into this too much because we're almost out of time here. Now, apparently nobody tuned in or popped in the chat to say hi, so I cannot give away the books during the show. But I will do something to where you can win the books probably next week. And next Friday, we'll try again to give away these books. So make sure that you tune in. You might have a chance to win Gary Wimmer's Lithomancy, the Psychic Art of Reading Stones. You can win his book, A Second in Eternity, his book on near-death experience, his near-death experience, and A Little Lower Than Angels by Victor Font Jr. We'll try to work out some kind of thing where you contest where you can win those books next week. But if we do not have something figured out by next Friday, we'll do another chance where you can win those books. I want to give those books away to somebody that wants them and wants to read this stuff. So let me bring up, let's see what we got. 5 minutes left. Perfect timing. So if you are enjoying Talking Tonight, and why not take a piece of the show with you? Visit talkingtonight.com, and of course, she pulled it up for me. Cool. Pull up talkingtonight.com, click on more, and then click on Talking Tonight merch store, and check out the t-shirts, coffee mugs, ball caps. I will add some more merch later on when I get a chance. Your support helps keeps the conversation going, and if you want to put your business out in front of passionate late night listeners, because I know it might not be people listening live, but they might tune in later because it is on Spreaker, it is on iHeartRadio, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify. So it's out there, and it's going to be on more sites eventually. Then Talking Night is now welcoming advertisers if you want to get your business out there. We're looking for advertisers to sponsor. Reach listeners interested in the topics that are discussed on the show. Visit talkingtonight.com to learn more or contact us today at talkingtonight@outlook.com. Grow your business with Talking Tonight. So next week, we got about 4 minutes. So next week we got some list of shows for you. We got Larry Lawson as we talk about the paranormal and law enforcement. We're going to talk about crime scenes, stuff that some entities or spirits that he's seen at crime scenes in prisons. We're going to talk about all that stuff coming up next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. And then, of course, next Friday, we're going to get into the Mandela effect and parallel universes. We briefly brought up parallel universes in tonight's episode, but we're going to get more in depth with it next week. So be sure to make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're listening on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@talk in the night with underscore between talk in the night words. And the link is in the description for the YouTube channel, but also for the website and everything like that. And then, of course, next Friday, of course, the Mandela Effect, open discussion, Mandela Effect and parallel universes. I apologize for the late start. I apologize for the chaos tonight. It's been one of those chaos weeks. Wednesday we had to do a Mystery Story episode. So It's been one of those weeks. So we'll be back to normal next week. So until next week, I shall see you on the dark side. Good night.